Hi. And I've taken a very, very sensitive topic, but I'm going to speak very sensibly and share with all of you something very rarely people speak on. And of course, I'm not going to speak on philosophy. I'm going to speak a lot on a practical approach and how do we handle death based on my personal experiences, my personal realizations, my understanding about life and death, my perspectives, which has helped me and helped a lot of people who have lost a loved one or loved ones. So all of you also who have tuned in, logged in, and you're online with me, without being judgmental, trying to reach to some kind of conclusion too soon. And if you want to actually have a very practical approach, very realistic approach towards death, then only stay tuned with me. Before we get into the detail of how to handle it, I want all of us to understand something very important about life. This entire existence is made of three components. One is known, other is unknown, and third is unknowable. This entire existence is bound by and built by these three components. Something that is known to all of us, something that is unknown to a lot of them, and there are some aspects of life, of this existence, will always remain unknowable. I'll support it with an example. There's an apple in my hand. You also can see, and I can also see. Known. An apple in my hand. Visualize an apple in my hand. Known to you also, known to me also. How many seeds are in these, or how many seeds are there in this apple is unknown. But you and me can utilize our intelligence, use a knife, cut it into two halves, and find out and count how many seeds are there in this apple. And unknown can become known. So we all have intelligence to use to make unknown into known. Apple was known to me and is known to me. How many seeds in the apple unknown to me? I can use my intelligence and cut it into two halves and identify and find and count how many seeds are there in the apple. Unknown becomes known. Then a very important question: how many apples will come out of each seed? That's the mystery of life. That will always remain unknowable. Apple known, how many seeds in the apple unknown, that can become known by using our intelligence. But from every seed, how many apples will come out is the mystery of life, and that is the unknowable aspect of life. That is how this entire existence is built. There are few things, or a lot of things which are known to us, and there are a lot more things which are unknown to us, and there are even more big amount of numbers, maybe infinite numbers, that are unknowable to us. With this understanding, let's understand why somebody dies, who dies, where the person dies, when the person will die, how the person will die, will always remain the mystery of life, the unknowable aspect of life. That person is known to me. How that person lived his life may be unknown to me. Why that person died will always remain unknowable to me. And that's the mystery of life. And that's what you and me have to understand, and that is where the session can be helpful to you and me. No, Deepak, we know why the person died. He died because of an accident. Really? Really? No, Deepak, how can you say I don't know why this person died? I know this person died because of COVID-19. This person died because of heart attack. That person died because of that person died because of this. That person died because of this. Really, every day so many accidents happen. Then why not in every accident one person dies? There's so many people who have heart attacks on a daily basis. Then why not everybody dies in the heart attack? So many people have got COVID-19. Why everybody who suffered or who got infected, they did not die? Our understanding itself is not correct. Let's have a fresh understanding. That person did not die because of accident. That person did not die because of a heart attack. That person did not die because of COVID-19. That person had to die. That person's time to go had come. So that person had to die. So accident happened. That person had to die. So for him, heart attack happened. That person had to die. So she got COVID-19. It's not because of that person died. Because that person had to die, something has to happen. Guys, I have to leave this room or a hall, and the hall has multiple doors. I have to choose one door to exit. Like that, whenever somebody's time has come, that is unknowable. When the time will come, that is unknowable. And that's the mystery of life. And that's the beauty of life. I don't know when somebody is going to die, because that person has to exit from this existence. A door has to open. For somebody, that door was accident. For somebody, that door was heart attack. For somebody, that door was COVID-19. For somebody, that door was a cyclone. For somebody, that door was earthquake. For somebody, that door was something. People don't die because of a cause. Because the time has come to exit, because they had to die, there has to be a cause. So don't blame to the accident, and don't blame to the disease, and don't blame to the sickness, don't blame to the natural calamities. Don't blame to the causes. There is a cause required. Without a cause, how somebody will go? How exit will happen? And that is the ultimate truth of life. The only truth, the ultimate and the unknowable truth of life is death. Everything else is man created, but ultimate unknowable truth of life is death. So do not blame the reason or the cause for death. The only simple understanding is that there are so many accidents happens every day. So many people suffer heart attacks every day. So many people getting infected with COVID-19 every day. So many people go through so many natural calamities on a regular basis. Not everybody dies. That person's time has come. So a cause was required. In that case, that cause was that. Just keep it like that. And I think that is the most beautiful thing to understand. This one part. We'll go step by step. I believe life is a bonding. Death is liberation. And that's what a lot of scriptures and a lot of wise people to believe. Life is a bonding. Death is liberation. Now you ask yourself, bonding is better or liberation is better? In fact, the initial times of human evolution, the sole purpose of human being was that the person is born or the human being is born. The sole purpose of human life was to experience moksha, salvation, liberation, mukti. So the ultimate will be sannyas ashram for everybody, starting from brahmacharya to grihastha ashram to vanprastha ashram till sannyas. Everybody has to go to sannyas to find their own mukti, find their own moksha, own salvation. That was how the humanity developed. The initial purpose, sole purpose of human being, initial days of human evolution was only one thing: salvation. Salvation from the cycles of birth and rebirth. जन्म मरण के बंधन से मुक्ति करना है खुद को, मुक्त करना है खुद को. That was the only objective. So everything was practiced in such a way where eventually towards the end of your life you liberate yourself. Very beautiful in Hindi, I can say that. मुक्ति का एक ही मार्ग है, या तो रम जाओ या तो मर जाओ. मुक्ति का एक ही मार्ग है, या तो रम जाओ या तो मर जाओ. रम जाओ means either dissolve in the higher or die and become the higher. What is life? What is birth? Human birth is a form. The formless becomes form. Human birth. What is death? The form becomes formless. That is death. Now you tell me. Formless becomes form. A child is born. A form called human being dies and becomes formless, becomes completely as a part of existence. Formless becoming form, is it a higher reality? Or form becoming formless, is it a higher reality? They say Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesham. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Brahma is the creator. So Brahma takes the formless and creates a form called you and me. Vishnu sustains us. Shiva, destroyer, destroys form into formless. That is why in the entire world there are multiple temples of Shiva and only one more temple is come of Brahma. There are no more than 2 temples in the entire world across the globe of Brahma, because Brahma takes the formless into form. Shiva does a higher work. He makes form into formless. Some evolved people have found a way by which they can dissolve in the higher when they're alive. Ramjao, dissolve in the higher and become the higher. The drop of the water drops itself and falls itself in the ocean and becomes the ocean itself. Dissolve. So a lot of human beings, those of whom you call as enlightened soul, spiritually evolved soul, these are the people who have dissolved in the higher and become the higher by themselves. Common, ordinary, normal, mortal people like you and me, we have to die to become the higher. So tell me now, is death a higher thing or birth a higher thing? We are bonded with so many things because of life. Bonded with relationships, bonded with responsibilities, bonded with work, bonded with duties, bonded with people, bonded with our own thoughts, bonded with our own temptations, bonded with our own pleasures, bonded with our own pain, bonded with our own suffering, and life is filled with all these bondages, and that is why death liberates you from everything. Form becomes formless. So that loved one of yours who has died or left for heavenly abode, basically that person has got liberated from the bonding of life, and bonding is painful. Yeah, you and me should know and learn how to enjoy life. That is beautiful. But still, there are bondages. We are not completely, perpetually, all the time in a state of bliss 24/7 all our life. We have our ups and downs, highs and lows, pains and pleasures, misery, sadness, everything mixes there. But death liberates you from everything and you become the formless. So death is an higher cause, higher reality than the birth. That is why Shiva is worshipped and Vishnu, because he sustains life. So you will see a lot of temples of Krishna, Vishnu and Shiva across the globe. There are only 2 temples. of Brahma in the entire globe. And that's the understanding I want all of you to have. Death is a higher reality. So the one who exits from this world, through whichever cause, through whichever door he or she or he chooses to take the person away, you should know the person has been liberated. I might sound at times insensitive to few of you who have lost your loved one recently, but I'll speak about that also. But don't come to any kind of conclusions. Let's be with me. Be with me. So if death is higher, birth is a lower reality. Why we have to cry for the person who dies? I'm going to give a very crude example to you to understand. I cut this little finger of mine with the help of a knife. I cut. It bleeds, it pains. But when I completely cut the finger and finger drops out of my hand or from my palm, tell me, this finger has pain or I have pain in my hand? The finger no more has any kind of sensation. The finger is just liberated from my body. Now it will no more experience anything. It has become nothing. In that nothing, it has become everything. So when I cut this finger, I will have pain. So when you see tears in my eyes, when the finger is cut and dropped that side, when you see tears in my eyes, the tears are not because the finger is that side. The tears are because I am going through pain of separation. That is separated. So what is separated does not have any sense of pain or anything. It's that I am suffering because I am bleeding here. So when a loved one of yours from your life dies, or exits from your life, or leaves permanently, they are liberated. So I have seen in death houses people crying, and I always ask this question to myself and few of them who are very close: for whom are you crying? If you're crying for the one who has left, I think you are so immature, because that person got freedom, that person got liberated from all that the person was going through in life. He's permanently liberated. He has become separated, so he's become nothing. In that nothing, that person has become everything in life. You should be happy for that person. You say, if I ask you, why are you crying in a death house? You say, I am going to miss my loved one for quite an amount of time. That person was such an inseparable part of my life, and I find it so difficult to live without the person. I'm missing the person a lot. I'm feeling the vacuum. I'm feeling the void. I'm not able to deal with that vacuum. I'm not able to deal with this loss. So for my personal pain, I'm crying. Oh, I think you are matured. And I allow them to cry. I feel with them. I also shed some tears along with them. I can understand their pain. I can relate with their pain because I also know what is called death. I have seen it in my life. Question which you have to ask yourself is this: you shed tears for whom? If you're shedding tears and you're crying for that person, I think you're absolutely childish, immaturish, ignorant. But if you are crying because you are going to feel the vacuum, the void, the loss, and you don't know how to deal with that, like the finger is cut and dropped that side, you are struggling with that, so you are crying in pain. I think you have all the right to cry as much you want to cry. Agreed. I can feel sensitized with you. But if you're crying for that, I've seen people crying. Somebody died very early in life, in a young age, in childhood, and people cry and make the house like one crazy market. What was his age? He was so young, he has not seen the life itself. Really? What life you're talking about? The life that is filled with all that you and me are going through? You wanted the child or the young one, boss, Let's be very, very mature to listen and talk and understand what I'm discussing right now with you. Somebody died at whatever age they died. They got liberated much earlier in life. The time had come. They have completed their cycle, which they have to complete in this birth, and they left. There are children at the moment of birth, they die. People have misconception. I have seen people, seventh month or eighth month, they have premature delivery and the child is lost, and they are miserable, depressed for God knows how many years now. What you don't understand is that person is supposed to only have that many years or that many hours in this life cycle, in this birth. They completed the whole thing and they left, finished, they went back. So you should be happy that the person has very early completed one more cycle of their life towards their own personal moksha, liberation, salvation. And we take it as a personal, we make it so personal, we become so miserable for the entire thing. The people have gone through depressions and have medication till the end of their life, and then they have to even, then I don't know whether when will they die, but they are already dying every moment of their life. And that's the ultimate death. Ultimate death is not the ultimate death. The ultimate death is what dies in you even when you're still alive. The person is liberated. And somebody is at old age, they had lived for 60, 70, 75, 80, 85 years, they lived a very complete life. At one time somebody will leave, no? Why such a childish behavior? I understand, I'm again telling, I'm able to sensitize with the loss of years, but my only request to all of you here is, when you cry, you should be very clear why are you crying, because when you cry for the one who has left, you're not going to allow them to rest in peace. You're not going to allow them to rest in peace. Your intention, you should be very clear. I'm crying, I'm sad, I'm disappointed, I'm feeling very empty for myself. I'm happy for that soul. Now that soul will rest in peace. That soul has completed one more cycle of their birth and rebirth. Ya to ram jao, ya to mar jao. This person could not dissolve. So he has to die. Or she has to die. Or she has to dissolve. And if you see, it's not easy to accept truth. We can accept a lie. We accept it wholeheartedly. But truth is the ultimate, death is the ultimate truth. And we don't want to accept the reality. Falsifications we accept, assumptions we accept, perceptions we accept. Reality we don't want to accept. Then you should only tell yourself, we are not yet evolved in life. You may be educated, but you're not evolved in their life. For me, it's very simple. The finger is cut, finger does not have any pain. My hand has pain and I'm crying for my pain. I'm not crying for the lost finger. Finger no more feels anything. And that's how your loved one is. They have left. You should allow them to leave peacefully. Cry. You should. Years and years of togetherness. The child which you conceived in your womb for 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, only saw the face and child left you. Yeah. You should let them go peacefully. To know that you are the source of your child's salvation, that your child in your womb or as it was delivered, it passed away and it was taken by the God itself. You are the medium for that. You should feel blessed that you were a reason for somebody's salvation, but immaturely we become guilty for it. We regret it. Something so divine. You think death is man-made? If birth is a divine phenomena, the formless becoming form is a divine phenomena, then form becoming formless is even more divine phenomena, and you were the reason for that phenomena to happen. Shouldn't you be feeling very grateful? We become regretful. Please Do try to understand. It's so crazy. Now let's get little more practical. Irony of life. I know for a few of my close closed ones right now, they have lost few loved one of theirs. Feel sorry for their loss. I truly feel very sorry for their loss. My condolences. I can feel with their pain. And this is true with each one of us. Now look at the irony of life. Now you will think of that person who left you non-stop 24/7. Now you will make a nice photo of theirs, hang it on the wall, every morning garland it, every morning show camphor light, incense sticks, agarbatti. Every morning, every evening, religiously, every day from that moment, the time that the person is left. You'll fold your hands, you'll clean the photo, you'll garland it, show lamp to it, do everything. Tell your own children, own loved ones, this is your grandfather, this is your grandmother, this is your father, this is your mother, or whoever the person was, he has been such an important person in our life. Take the blessings and go for the work. Take the blessings and go to the examination. Take the blessings and go for that discussion. Take the blessing, take the blessing, take the blessing. The entire village will be called and they'll be served food. And every now and then there is something good happening in the house, you'll remember. But he is no more there to experience all this fun which we are having. Every time difficult moment comes in the house, you'll again go and think about the same person. If that person would have been there in my life, things would have been very different to us. So much we will do for the person who left after he leaves. My only thought to all of you is this: all that you do for the person after the person dies, if you would have done it when the person was alive, which we don't do. With all due respect to each one of us, including me, which we don't do. That person is right now who's alive in your house. All those people who are alive in your house, keep their picture also on the wall. Why not? Take a life-size statue, like a life-size portrait. Keep a loved one's photo on the wall. Every morning look at them. Say hi to them. Take their blessings also. Take their wishes also. Oh, you don't want to put photo alive right now. No, to meet every morning when you leave for your office, when you come back from your workplace, school, college, wherever, before leaving, touch everybody's feet in the house. Hug them. Come back, touch everybody's feet. Garland them. Give them flowers. Buy one bouquet. If it is costly, every day buy one flower. Pick up one flower from the garden, and every day do everything that you do to the person who died after the person dies. Every year Shraddha will happen now. In Pitra Paksha will come, and every year Shraddha will happen. People will be called, they will be fed. When they are alive, do it? No. So what? They are 60 years. So what? They are 65th years. So what? They are 75. So what? They are 80. How much you think about the person when the person dies? Think about the person when the person is alive? No. I've seen people after the person dies, the photo is there. Look at the photo and keep on talking to the photo. Really? Talk to the photo and photo will reciprocate. And when the person was alive, there he was or she was, every day waiting for the attention, craving for the attention. That time we did not have time to sit with them and talk for a few minutes. All that you and me do after the person dies, all that, if we all can do before the person dies, you will not cry. You will not cry. You will let it happen peacefully, and you will tell yourself, I think the person and me had a very complete life, very fulfilled life. Not a moment which I could give, I did not. And there is no regret, and there is no guilt, because you have made the most of this relationship. When the person was alive, you were expressing, you are sharing, you're taking their blessings, you're taking their wishes, you're hugging them, talking to them, thinking about them, missing them, telling them I'm missing you. So when the person goes, which the person will anyway go, you won't feel so bad, you won't feel so empty, you won't feel such a vacuum in life, because till the last moment you carried that person in your heart, even when the person was in front of you that time. So when the person goes, it's only see you up there, be ready for me, I'll be coming very soon to you, because that person is liberated. Feel happy for that person. You want to be sad for yourself, I'm absolutely okay with it. Sad because you will miss such a lovely person. Sad because you'll miss a relationship of a lifetime. Sad because that person meant a world to you. That's okay. That is why there are some cultures, there are some tribes where death is celebrated. When the person dies, there is crackers, there is band, there is music, there is drums, people dance in front of the dead body, and dead body is taken because they know the person is liberated for a lifetime. It's a happy occasion for the person. What a beautiful culture. And then there are so many of us who have made death such a negative emotion, such a painful emotion, that there is no birthday you celebrate for one day. Birthday you celebrate only for one day, and somebody celebrate birthday for one extra day, you call him a mad person. And death, officially 13 days they have given. Cry. Which has a science behind it. The 13 days you officially sit at the place, think about all the memories, cry out the entire thing, so that everything is drained, all the emotions which are incomplete, everything get drained in that crying, and crying is very therapeutic. So 13 days of matam, 13 days of shok, 13 days you have to do all these things. Take care, do it now, finish in 13th day, get done with it. Cry out all the emotions, express the emotions what you want to express, so that everything is complete. By the 14th day you are done with everything, then you can move on in life, because nothing stops from anybody. Krishna also died, Jesus Christ also died, Rama also died, Mahatma Gandhi also died. All great people and all bad people, everybody will die. Life moves on. But I've seen people in their own immaturity, one birthday, one day of your year, and you only celebrate for the day, for that day. And death, such a beautiful divine experience of life, the ultimate truth of life, that you don't want to accept, and keep crying and stay depressed for years together. I have seen people after death in the house or in the close relatives, they have not stepped out of the house for 6 months and years together. They lose the charm of the entire life. Hello? You and me were not born to please other human beings. You and me are born to live our life in such a way that either we dissolve in the higher and become the higher, or die and become the higher. You and me have to complete our journey separately. I will complete my journey in my own way. You have to complete your journey in your own way, and that's about it. Just because you completed your journey before me and both of us walking together, which means rest of my journey I will be sad, miserable, depressed for what? It's like I was traveling in a train. On the third station, one of you joined me. We built a great relationship, great friendship. For next 1 hour, 1 day or 2 day, we were in train having a great time together. We become really close. And at one point, you had to get down. And your station came earlier than my station. And when you got down, my station will come after 2 more days. So you are telling me that this person left before my station came. So till my station come, I should go sad, miserable, crying that why this person left in between. He completed his journey or she completed her journey. The journey was over and they got on happily. Say bye to them and continue your journey. That's called maturity. That's called sensibility. In case if any one of you are asking questions to me on YouTube, I'm not reading any of the questions. I'm just going with the flow. Please, please, what all you do for your loved ones after they die, please do it before they die. Both of you will have a complete life. My mom is somewhere around 75 right now. When she had her 70th birthday, I got all her relatives who are alive, me and my brother, and made all of them speak about my mom, what she means. I spoke, my brother spoke. We all were in tears for hours together that night. She felt complete. My brother felt complete. I felt complete. That there's nothing pending from our side. And I know whenever whoever goes in my life, I'll cry. I will have tears in my eyes. Not for the person, because the person has gone, because I will miss such a beautiful human being in my life. For that I will cry. Listen, I lost my dad when I was 17. 1 month I cried. I remember every day of my crying. Now let me tell you the most amazing truth of life. Realistically, when I was 17, my father expired. I'm today 50, 33 years, and I still feel so close to my father. My father died physically, but in me, he lives even today. लोग यादों में मरते हैं. लोग यादों में मरते हैं. बाहर तो सिर्फ शरीर मरता है. What dies outside is a physical personality of somebody. What dies outside is a body which is mortal anyways. But in spirit, the person lives in you, in your mind and your heart, as long as you keep. The day I will forget my dad, in my mind, in my memory, in my heart, that day my father will actually die for me. He's still alive in me. I talk with him. I know he guides me. I know he carries me. He is with me all the time. People don't die. People die in their memories. Those of you who have lost your loved ones, if you have forgotten them, the day you forgotten them, that was the day that person died for you, not the day which the person died physically from here. 33 years, my dad is still so much alive in me. I can still feel his, I can still see his face. I can still see his smile. I can still feel his hugs whenever he gave me. People don't die there. People die inside you. If your dad, if your mom, those of you have lost Whichever loved one you lost, your lover, your wife, your husband, your spouse, your father, your mother, your uncle, your grandfather, whichever person or who all have died, for me, what is important is, are they alive in you? Yes, then where they have died? Because I'll tell you this one thing, only after the person dies, you think about the person most number of times than when he was or she was alive. I repeat, only after the person dies, you think about that person 24 bar 7 all the time than when the person was alive. You didn't even bother to know that morning when you woke up to go and check if everybody in the house is still alive or not. You don't bother when you come back home to drop into every room of your house and check whether everybody is alive or not. You just come and go, come and go, come and go. But after a person dies, the person is with you all the time. Isn't it a beautiful phenomenon that happens only because of death? And very important part is this. What that person who left you could not do for you in physical form now can do miracles for you in a formless presence in you, with you, within you, around you. Think about it. I know in 33 years what I have achieved is all because of my Father's grace. Because His energy still I can feel all the time around me. I can feel His smile on my lips. I can feel His hard work in my work. He's still with me. And because of His grace, I have achieved what I have achieved. I strongly believe if my father was alive even today, I wouldn't have achieved what all I have achieved in my life. Because after he left me, my energy and his energy in the formless presence with me was a fabulous combination. And what he did for me, sitting up there, he wouldn't have been able to do it when he was there with me in physical form, because physical form has its own limitations. A spiritual form has no limitation. It's absolutely infinite, and that infinite energy and power of my father is still with me, and it will be there with me as long as I carry him in me. And right now I don't know whether I am carrying him in me or is he carrying me in his energy. But truth is, there is an energy. So if you want your whoever has left you, very close relative of yours, relationship of yours, very close loved one of yours, boss, I'm telling you this, take it from me. Then simply crying and keep on blaming God, blaming life, and blaming those causes of death. Wholeheartedly let the person go and say, be with me all the time. With that love when you call, that person who has left you or those people who have left you, their energy plus your energy plus his grace, what's not possible for you? Very recently I told one of my friend who lost his father, what your father could not do in physical form will do a lot more to you in spiritual form. And within 2-3 days he came and told, Deepak, I can't believe this. All that work which was stuck for so many years after dad passed away, I felt bad, but after you said that, I realized so many work that were not happening. Suddenly everything is moving. I can believe in you when you say that. Today my father is doing much more sitting up there for me and my family than he could do when he was in physical form, because physical form has limitation. Please understand. Death is such a divine manifestation of life itself, God itself. And death is much, much higher than the birth. In birth, the formless became the form. In death, the form becomes the formless. That Paramatma became Jivatma, and here a Jivatma became Paramatma. Think about it. That person who left you has become a Paramatma, has become a part of the Akhand Brahmand. And you are crying for that. You want to cry? Do cry for your loss. Cry for yourself, not for the one who left. Because he or she got their liberation. Be happy for them. Feel blessed that you had a relationship like that. And that's the ultimate truth of life. Sat. The law of permanence and impermanence. What has begun will come to an end. What has not begun will never come to an end. A human life started, human life will end. A relationship started, relationship will end. This program has started, this program will end. Pain has begun, pain will end. Pleasure has started, pleasure will end. Everything about life has a limited lifespan, and that's what death teaches all of us. That is the ultimate truth. How you live, you live. How will you go? When will you go? Where will you go? Why will you go? That is the mystery of life. No cause causes a death. Death has to happen. So a cause is needed. And life will design, create some cause for a cause called death to happen. So everything has a limited lifespan, guys. They have died, you also will die. I also will die. Every time I speak about death, and when I speak about my death, so many of my close students, they were tears. Don't speak like that. You don't know how insensitive it is. Really. Well, really, closing eyes towards death, death won't see you. As much as you are seeking it, that much death is seeking you. You think death is somewhere, death is there only. As much as you are seeking, even death is seeking. When will your time come? When will I pick it up, him up, pick her up? So it is there. It is there. Don't get too sentimental. And death is not anywhere negative connotation that world has put into your head or you have associated with it. Yes, that moment when I cut the finger, that pain is there, but it is a very temporary pain. After that, now don't ask me a question which everybody in their own innocence or ignorant or stupidity ask. Somebody asked me last week, one of my student, sir, is there life after death? What happens after death? Is there life after death? I simply ask him, hello, you're more interested about knowing is there life after death. I want to ask you one question. Is there life before death? Are you living before you die? That's important. Tragedy of human life is not the ultimate death, but what dies in you when you're still alive. And right now, those of you have lost your loved ones, and if you have cried enough sincerely on that loss of yours, and you feel yes, you have cried enough, stop it. Start living. You want their soul to rest in peace, then you have to become peaceful and move on in life and start living your life. They have completed their journey and they have left. You don't die even when you're alive and spoil your journey of life, because this day lost will not come back again. Is there life after death? Is there life before death? Yes, you will never regret death. You will never be scared of death. Those people who are not living life to the completeness, those people who are not living life to the fullest, only they have fear of death. I'm not saying that I don't have fear of death. I don't have fear of death. जब आएगा तब देख लेंगे. But I don't have fear of death because I know I live my every day to the completeness, to the fullest. Yes, there are responsibilities. There are duties to fulfill, which I'll keep doing it till the last breath of mine. But I don't think, and people think and get scared. People talk about death, they get, don't talk about death. Why मरने की बात क्यों कर रहा है? तेरे को बात करने से डर लगता है, which means you think how incomplete and how unfulfilled or non-fulfilled life you must be living. No, then live with your heart open. Somebody asked me recently, all this thing happened after I announced the topic death. When should I enjoy my life? When should I enjoy my life? And my answer was, just one day before death, you should enjoy your life. But Deepak, I don't know when I will die. No, that is why I enjoy every day. When should I enjoy my life? One day before death. मौत के एक दिन पहले बहुत मजा करो, मौज करो, लेकिन हमको पता नहीं मौत कब आएगी, इसीलिए बोल रहा हूं कर लो, कर लो. That's the ultimate सत्य of life. Everything has a limited lifespan. It starts, it ends. Between these two, make the most of it. Make the most of it. And who have left you, feel grateful. You had that time with them. And those of you who lost a loved one very early in life, feel happy feel happy for that person. He did not have to go through the struggles of life the way so many of us are going on having till the end of our life, because there will be problems on a daily basis till the end of our life. And the person who died at very young age or in a childhood or just born should feel, what a liberated soul, what a blessed soul that so early in life the person got liberated. Yeah, you will miss the person, that is okay, that is different story. So when I'm discussing about death, how to handle it, the basic thing is, who has gone, they don't have any pain. You think that soul is struggling like that? Really? You think the person who has left for the heavenly abode is somewhere struggling still? The struggle was momentary, and that is called death. It is over. It's you and me who have to handle the death of somebody, and the way you handle it with is, yes, I will miss you, so I'm crying. Yes, I will miss this relationship, so I'm crying. Yes, I can feel the vacuum, the void in my life, so I am not able to deal with it, so I am crying. You have all the right to it. Cry at your heart. Officially, they are given 13 days to you. If you can finish within that, beautiful. Be there for everybody else. Give your shoulders to everybody. Hold them, hug them, cry with them. At one point will come. Move on in your life. And know that people who leave you will live in you and help you and be with you, guide you, carry you in everything you do. Till now, they were helping you from outside. Now they will help you from inside, from sitting up there. What did you lose? Don't tell me when they were alive full time, you're hugging only and sitting with them 24/7 for 75 years. Please. Please. Have emotions. Don't do emotional drama and traumatize everybody around you. And you sulk for months together and years together, and don't allow life to flourish within you and around you. And that will be such an injustice to the one who left you. Nobody who left, my dad will never want and would have never wanted me to keep crying and sulking for lifetime. Think about, I would have gone into depression at 17. No food to eat in my house. Dad was the only earning member in my house. Mom did not have a job. She was a homemaker. No food to eat for three of us. And in that whole fear that what will happen to my future, I was studying. I would leave everything and do what? Begging on the road. If I would have gone to that scare, that anxiety, and got into depression and made my life miserable, you think I would have achieved what I have achieved in my life? You think I would have reached where I have reached in my life? I would have just made my father feel so bad about him being there. I know today, not only I rejoice my dad's presence in my life, but I know up there somewhere in spirit, he must be so proud, so happy for my achievements, so proud for what life I live and what life I help people live. And that's the true tribute to my father, that I will live a life worthy of being your son, not crying and cribbing and complaining and depressing and making everybody sad in my life and feeling guilty for lifetime, regretting for lifetime. No, I won't do that. I won't let my father down by my stupid, immature, childish, useless behavior. I cried because I lost somebody who was everything to me. I still feel for him. But that was it for some time. Then I took his energy, his blessings, his grace, and with that, from there till now I have come, and I know that energy of his will take me even more further in life. You make a choice. Those of you who have lost a loved one of yours, make a choice. Do you want those loved one of yours from there to look at you crying, sad, guilty, regretting, miserable, traumatizing yourself and everybody else? You think they will rest in peace? Or there also you will keep killing them with your behavior? Grow up. They are liberated. Feel happy for them. Have your pain. Sensitize with your pain. Cry out your heart. And one point, tell yourself, thank you for being in me, within me from now onwards. I'll carry you with me till my life. People don't die outside. People die inside in your mind and your heart. And as long as they're alive in your mind and heart, what to worry? They're still with you. Still with you. Death is a celebration, a divine celebration. Don't belittle it with a human immaturity. The form became formless. A Jivatma became Paramatma. You and me, ordinary Atmas, would understand this. Take it. If you trust me, believe me. That's how I look at death. I don't know what is reality, but that's how it has helped me and so many more people. Let all your loved ones rest in peace. And all of you, those of you who have lost somebody in life, be peaceful. Become peaceful. Stay peaceful. And those of you who will eventually lose somebody in life, that is the truth of life. Make sure you have the emotions, but avoid the emotional drama and handle with a lot of maturity. Save this whole session for yourself. So whenever somebody struggles in life because they lost somebody, share with them. Thank you so much. Let's live with peace and let's leave with peace. Thank you so much.